Hi, Manish. Good evening.
Yeah, very good.
And good evening, everyone here who have joined us for today's session. So, guys, I will just start with giving a brief intro about Antwork platform. So, we are an experiential learning platform, Antwork, and we have been trying to bring the experience of young professionals from the senior professional in the industry working in various domains like product management, data engineering, data science, and other digital marketers, etc. And we are trying to bring those people's experience and learnings to young folks who want to transition, who wants to build their career into those kind of fields. So this is one of the session onto that same line. So let me just give you a brief intro about Manish here. So Manish is currently working as a senior data engineer at Kimpress India, and before that, he have previously also worked at LendingTree and Wavegov.com as a data scientist, right? While he will be able to tell you a little bit more about what he exactly do at his day-to-day job, but on a higher level, he is someone who is proficient in the machine learning, Python, R, data structure, and all these concepts, as well as work on a lot of cloud data warehouse like Snowflake, and as well as some of the data analysis tools like Tableau, Databricks, and all. So that's a brief intro about Manish. So right now, how we are going to start the session is that like I'm going to launch a poll from our website to just have an idea about what is the sort of profile or audience profile that we have for today's session. And meanwhile, we will stop presenting from our side. Manish, would you please able to present your screen?
Okay.
So guys, you might be seeing a poll on your screen. So please take a few minutes, sorry, seconds actually, to just fill up this. It will just give us an idea about what is the sort of audience that we have for today's session. And Manish will also be able to, help you have a good learning experience here.
Mhm. Okay. There are 42% freshers. Okay. Okay, cool. So most of fresher is here.
Yeah, yeah.
So thank you so much and giving me this opportunity to explain my experience to the everyone. So also I'm very excited to share my experience with the folks and how the data engineering field works and how the data scientist field and this kind of data field. Uh, okay. Okay, so my journey is very interesting into this field because as a non-IT background, I previously I analyzed the data on the Excel using the SAP data, right? So then after means like there is also required knowledge of various programming skills, right? So also programming skill visualization tool. So I took approx 1 year like gap and prepared the whole coding and learn the cloud-based tech and jump into the data field. So my career started as a data analyst. Then I jumped as a data scientist. Now I currently working as a data engineer. Right. So why I choose data engineering? Basically, in this field, people are like uh, in chat. There is a okay. So, like in the data engineering field, that is, if you are going work with the startup company that are doing from the end to end. If one data guys is there, then they have to do the all the work, like do the pipeline work, model building, then analysis kind of work. So also like I'm doing the DevOps kind of work also. So some kind of DevOps work and data engineering is also there and data scientist and like you can say that end-to-end product deployment. So before going further, I just want to know like how many you knows the actual roles and responsibility of data engineers? Can we do the poll, Digvijay?
Yeah, we can launch a quick poll onto that.
Yeah, like then.
Uh, okay, so Bindu, can we have the poll ready?
I'll make it ready.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, so like the guys who's from the software background, like computer science background and non-IT background, so they can also like learn these technologies, but the confidence and they should be passionate about the data kind of like field. And there are a lot of confusion going on around this data field. Means people where they can start from, like learn the techno like tools. Only ETL job is there, or SQL is there, Python is there, right? So yeah, so this have to okay, poll started. Okay, these are the previous polls. Okay, so people are from the freshers, and like they want to switch the career into the required area. So they even don't know how to switch their career into the required field. They just learn the Python, SQL, and visualization tool, or programming, all the kind of thing. But when they actually goes into the data field, or any organization, they become to know how the data pipeline is work, how the data science is work, and how the data analysis kind of thing is work. So I think poll is not ready. Okay. So also the if you are switching your career into the required field, first you have to know, you have to passionate about it. And second thing, like you know the which kind of business problem you are going to solve, right? These are the main thing. Because when the recruiter, or sorry, when the interviewer asks regarding the business use case, then people don't know which kind of use case they are going to solve. Like only the analyzing the data, do the model building. These are not the actual thing. You have to first know the what is the actual use case of like uh, actual use case of a data, right? Data, you know, you already know the data is oil, right? If you see about from my side, there is a I want to share a business use case. I can give you practical example where these are the use case we can use. Like first, the driverless car, right? So how it can work, I mean, how it's working driverless car, because a lot of data, image processing, and customer analysis, customer behavior. So this all kind of data is injected into the machine learning model. So they build the machine learning model, deep learning model, like image processing. So these are the things by using the data, Elon Musk build the driverless car, right? So so you know this data is very 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 important to do the any kind of decision making. Also, uh, okay, so there is a poll. Okay, so okay, so there are blocks. Hmm, okay, so yeah, so blocks
I think,
many, yeah, yeah.
yeah, most of the people are not like very aware of it.
Mm,
Maybe we can, move the slides further and we can
yeah,
explain these things to people. Yeah.
yes, yes. So we are going to this slide, like how data engineering roles and responsibilities, and we also became to know how what is the difference between the data engineer, data scientist, and data analyst, and how we can prepare ourselves to transit our career into the data engineering, right? And also if we have don't have any experience, so how we can jump into the how we can prepare ourselves and jump into the particular area. Also we can see the future growth, like how we compete to the others. Like we don't want to compete anyone, but for ourselves we have to always try to compete with ourselves so like let's see the I think most of people don't know about the what is the roles and responsibilities of data engineer. So in each and every organization there is a different like roles and everything, right? So like in the startup, uh, the data kind of people do the all kind of work, like pull the data, do the pipeline from one data source to the another like source, then that have to connect to the visualization tool. So these are the works done by the into the startup. But in the big company like MNCs and like Amazon and like Simpress India, they have the structured way, like this person have to do the data engineering work, this person have to data science kind of work. So due to that, people are in confusion which kind of like what is the actual like working of data engineers. Like if you see the slide, like if you see the slide, so data engineers basically collect like they basically design and building system. They collect the data from the various website and various data resources. Then they collect the data and store the data into the uh, particular place. Like previously, they are storing the data into the hard servers, and now the cloud-based technology is there. So MySQL server can be like their data is collected into the one place. Like there is a Snowflake. We can say the Snowflake cloud data warehouse. So this database like collect all the data into the particular data warehouse. Like if you see, the data engineers basically collect the data, they transform the data, then make the actual the like look means we you means like we can easily interpret their data. Like if the JSON data is there, the people can't initially interpret that data. So they make them into CSV and particular data frame, so we can easily find out the number of rows and number of columns instead of finding the like JSON format and other formats are there, like text file is there. So we have to build the like actual the data into the format, right? So that collecting the data into the like database. Like database can be anything, like there is a Redshift, AWS Redshift is there, and cloud base if you're talking about the AWS Redshift and Snowflake is there. So these are the data storage, cloud-based tech, and MySQL Server is also there. So this data engineers collect from the various website or sources and collect at one place. Then the process is start of data scientists, and data what their data scientists do, the actual and proper data frame is used by the data scientist, that is provided by the data engineers. So what the data engineers do, like data engineers do the visualization on that data and model training and make the reports over there. And data analysts, what they do, they just analyze the data and do the various take the decision on that, right? So yeah, so like I said you like a business use case. So the business use case, we understand the what is the data engineer's business use case. They have to collect the data, store the data, make the required format of the data like XML, JSON. These are the formats over there. Then they can store the data, then use the data for the decision making purpose. Also the like there are uh, like folks, if you have any question, just put in chat, then I can give the answer, because you are only listening. If any question, just put in chat and I'll give you the answer over there. Okay, so the why data engineers are growing rapidly, why the data engineers are continuous growing rapidly, because there are many organizations, they are still not utilizing their data. They want to utilize their data. They have the data in the CSV file, in the SQL server, but they don't know how to utilize that, how to like take decision on that, right? How to build a like analysis tool on that, means how to do, like right. Can you go back? It's like okay. So So they require the data engineers who can make the pipeline, make the data into structured format from non-structured format. Like non-structured, there is a text format, JSON data. So these are the data they can make into the required format. So the non-structured data engineers convert into the structured format for the analysis purpose. uh, what is the question? Okay. So yeah, so basically the or now currently organization wants the data engineers to use the data from non-structured to structured format, so they can easily uh, do the analysis on that, right? And also the business use case means organization wants which kind of like you can say uh, solve their use case. Like I can say there is a customer is active on your website or not. Like if you have one website, a customer are purchasing the product. Like yeah, I can give you example of Mantra. Mantra is there, and Amazon is there, or various e-commerce platform. If you are purchasing that product uh, again and again, and if you are not purchase that product since last 60 days, 90 days, 1 year, so how they are using means like utilizing that data. So they are making the customer is active or not. So these are the use case. Like if I am not active since last 60 days, 6 months, 90 days, so they are, if you are like realized, they are sending you promotions, like sending the coupon code or this kind of things. So they already know about you. You are not active over there, right? And they also know you. You are a good you are a big customer, you are a big spender. You already means the customer already lost from our website. If customer is not active since last 2 years, it means customer is already lost, right? So we have to that organization like Amazon, Mentra, they try to bring back that old customer, right? Because retention, retaining the new customer is really difficult to previous customer. If you are retaining, there is a very low cost required, right? So they are targeting the customer, like to bring back that customer. Also, like if you are a big spender, like someone is purchasing 1 lakh rupees product, 2 lakh rupees of product, so that is a VIP customer for the Amazon or Mentra. So they are providing the special discount on that, or a special coupon for that customer, because they want to increase the revenue also. And they also want into the competitive to the other competitors. Like if you compare the Mentra and Lyra is all means like you can say Nika is also there. So they want to compete each sale. So they require the data engineers to solve their use case. Like I said, like bring back the customers. And these are the internal use case of for the the companies. Also, there is a customer churn or not. So we have to predict. There is also use case of the they have to predict the customer will stay with us or they will leave. So we have to, that is a customer churn prediction. So this all are the use case should be solved by the organization. They required data engineers, data scientists, and data analysts, right? And regarding initially, the main data engineers provides the actual support to the each and every team, because without data there is a nothing. So data engineers is like backbone of each and everything, for the data scientist also, for the data analyst also. But like I said, for the, if there is a startup, data guy have to do the all the things, right? Next slide.
We have few questions in chat box. Can we take?
Yes, yes.
Manish Kumar is asking who work on data standard policy.
Data standard policy.
Yes.
Okay, so the data standard policy, like each company define their policies. Data standard policy, basically there is also security part is there, right? And the data should be in this format. So basically it comes from the stakeholders, right? So which means the data standard policy, like the stakeholders, like my finance team wants this kind of data in this format. and the other stakeholder want that kind of data in this format. Like so this kind of format is there, so the policy is defined by the company or the stakeholders regarding this kind of thing. And also the data security kind of thing should be also there, because the data is if you are jump into the data field, there should be very care about the data. You don't want to share data with anyone. Your code, if your team is there, then it is okay. Regarding and also don't want to share data with anyone, so this is also part of the policy of the data, right? Okay, so you have to much care about the your data sharing, because like if any, because company take action on that, so you have to all means like very take care about of it. So these are the policy of the data.
Again, he is asking, does data engineer work on creating data standards, or just they have to other run standards?
Okay. Okay, can you repeat again, please?
Yeah, he is asking, data engineer work on creating data standards, or just they have to other on standards?
Okay. So like data engineers have these standards, like because there are the two things like ETL or ELT. So these are the some we have to define the two things over there. We have to do the ELT first or ETL first, like is extract, transform, and load, and extract, load, or transform. So these are the standard like OLTP and OLAP. So this kind of use case we have to see for this kind of standard kind of thing. So this is all comes required from the, we have to understand if like there is a transactional data, like real time data. So we have to define the OLTP. Okay, and if there is a like we have to store the data, so we have to go for the OLAP. So this kind of analytics means this kind of things using we can like standardize or the policy of that. Okay, okay, what skills we there is a one question from the Neha. What skills we have to master to get a job as a fresher data engineer? Okay, so I think team 5 is there. So I think is this like answerable to you, or is there anything more?
Yeah, again, one more question, like same, which tool or technology is more utilized in data engineering market?
Okay, so first I have to take this question, like what skills we have to master to get a job fresher data engineers. Okay, like for the fresher, I will recommend just strong your SQL, right? How to query like data. I mean, because there is a data source, you have to query, right? So write down the SQL queries, and before and how to make the pipeline. For the technology kind of perspective, you have to know the basic like uh, just wait. Yeah. So the data engineering fundamental, like you should know the SQL and Python for the fresher if you are going to apply the jobs, right? So you know the actual, yeah, SQL and Python over there. Then these two things, if you know already, then you can easily get a job into the if there is a fresher kind of things, and you can easily get a job because you know the SQL, how to fetch the data, and you know the Python, how to process the data by fetching the data from the data warehouse, right? So there was question which tools or technology required for the data engineering. Okay, so this will vary organization to organization, right? Like our organization using Snowflake cloud data warehouse, MySQL server, and like AWS, like Amazon, you can using AWS Redshift, and also like MongoDB is there. So this kind of data warehouse they are using for the storing the data, right? These are the storing the data. For the storing data, there is a MySQL server or cloud-based tech Snowflake or and Redshift, right? AWS. So this is a storage kind of thing. If you know the processing, For the processing kind of work, you know the actual Python. One of programming language is very useful for the data engineers, Python language. So by using the Python language, you can easily attach your cloud data warehouse to the Jupyter notebook. I think most of freshers are doing their coding on the Jupyter notebook, right? So they can easily connect that data warehouse to their Python notebook, right? So they can fetch the data from the data warehouse in the Python notebook, and they can easily do the all kind of processing on the notebook. Like they can find the null values and also EDM, like the mode, mean median mode, right? And also outlier over there, and so they can easily process the data and into the Python Jupyter notebook, and they send the data into again data warehouse after doing the all the processing. So you have the data storage, you have the Python Jupyter notebook, and you have to send the process data into the another field, another data warehouse, right? So these are the pipeline you are making. So these tools or technology you should know, like SQL, Python, and some machine learning is there, then it's very very good over there. Like some kind of machine learning is there, like customer segmentation. So this kind of you can fetch the data from data warehouse, put into the Jupyter notebook, apply your machine learning algorithm, then again send the process data into the data warehouse, right? So these skills you required, and if you have experience data engineer, then you have to go for the next step, like Apache Airflow and Spark. And for the fresher, the company will never ask you regarding you guys know the Airflow, Spark, AWS, Azure, MongoDB, Kafka. So they will never ask regarding this, but you have the only basic knowledge, just read, just read over there. But they are mainly focused for the SQL and Python, right? And the next thing is like how you design your skills. Like you know the everything, but you don't know how to design your skills, like how to optimize the things, how to scalability. So your designing skill should be there. So by using that, the employer organization can choose you very easily based on your designing skill, because everybody know the Python and SQL in the like after 2 to 3 years or 4 years, but they don't know how to optimize the thing and how to uh, like scalability, how the scalable it is, then it won't work. So you have to know the designing skill, means, and optimization skill after 3 to 4 year experience into data engineering work. And for the initially, you should know the SQL and Python, and some visualization tool like Looker, and like I'm using the Looker. So Looker and Tableau. So Looker is there, Tableau is there, and Google Data Studio is there, and ClickSense is there. So these are the visualization tool. At least one visualization tool you should know, because company is mentioned Looker or Tableau over there. But you should know, because the logic is everyone means like everywhere is same. Logic is everywhere same. So you should know the at least one visualization tool and how it works, how to means like how you analyze the data over there. So yeah, so these are the things required for the data engineers basically. Okay, so yeah, so now next we can go ahead for the platform for data engineering. So I already explained you regarding all the things, like for the data engineering, you required for if experienced data engineers required cloud-based tech. They know about the data structured, semi-structured. They know the language of Python, R, and Scala, Java. But only one programming language is for the entering into the data field is enough. So you should know the at least Python, or because for people from the computer science background, they should know the C++ and Java over there, and Python is also there. So yeah, so cloud-based tech, you should have the knowledge about the data structure and the language, programming language, and the visualization tool is there. Power BI is also one of the a great tool for the visualizing the data, and the platform like Spark. So Spark is Spark and Apache Airflow. So Spark is basically processing the huge data. If you have the data, so if you want to process the data, right? So huge data, then you should know the Spark, right? So let me know if any question is there regarding like you guys already. If you have any question, let me know.
Yeah, actually, Balahari, he's telling that he's joining as a big data engineer fresher next week.
Okay,
So,
okay,
could you give me a structured way to become a good data engineer in future?
okay. So congratulations for this thing. And like for the big data engineer, like you should know the basic of like Apache, Kafka, HBase, Hive, and Spark. So these are the actual tools they are using for the big data engineers, because big data engineers is basically worked on the Apache, Hive, Spark, and Kafka. And and the data engineers is working on all the things like cloud-based tech, Python, and language is there, visualization tool is there, and storage of data is there. So yeah, so regarding the big data, I'm suggesting you you just go through the Spark, Hive, and Scala. These are the things will be useful for you for your career growth, right? And if you want to learn more, then you can learn the Python programming language over there. Then you can easily have understanding the like process of the data on the using, because the PySpark is also there. For the big data engineers, they are basically using the PySpark, which is nearly about the Python. Only the some syntax is vary over there. Yeah. So
Is cloud is necessary for DE and which tool we need to master for retail process?
okay, the cloud-based tech. Okay, so for the cloud-based technology, at least company are adopting the cloud-based technology, right? So you have to know the knowledge of at least one cloud-based technology, because if you have the knowledge, then you can like get hired very easily for the multinational company, because the MNCs are looking for the cloud-based technology like AWS and Azure, GCP. Google platform is there, Azure is there, and AWS is there. So basically, also the basic knowledge for the fresher, the basic knowledge of any three of these thing, any cloud-based technology would be helpful for their career and future growth, right? So yeah, so that is my suggestion. If you are fresher, just go through the only basic thing. People will never ask you if you are a fresher. People will never like expecting you should know the all the things, right? So if you are knowing the basic things of cloud-based technology, how they are working, how we are storing the data, how we are processing all the things on the cloud, because there is no manual interpretation required on cloud. Because if you don't know about the cloud-based technology, you run the code manually in each day. Like a company will say you, I want this data each day, so you are just going to the Jupyter notebook and click on the run. So it will, so there is a manual work. So if you know the cloud-based technology, you can easily run the code, deploy your code for the deployment purpose. Yeah, so that is the answer. So you should also know the cloud-based technology. For the fresher level, it should be like only basic knowledge is required, not that much. And if you are experienced, then you should have the knowledge of like one, at least one cloud-based technology. Yeah. Also, now this is very important slide. So, like path to your data engineering, how you can switch your career or how you can find the job like into the data engineer. I also from like as a non-IT background, I like use this like strategy, and I got the job after uh, doing this kind of thing. Like I learned the basically fundamental like Python and SQL initially. So like Python in how like process the data, how to connect the like data warehouse to the Python Jupyter notebook, how to query the data from the data warehouse, like select star from like this kind of thing. Then I start a project on that. After learning the fundamental, I start the learning like how to connect the data, how to build the data pipeline, right? And also like how we can process the data on Jupyter notebook and how to do the machine learning. So these are this kind of all the things I learned over there, right? Then I go to the research on the job posting, right? Then finding the job, which kind of jobs available in the market, and what I learned that can be useful or not. And like also the main thing, document your work. If you are preparing something, just create a GitHub, because companies are looking for the, they are not going through your resume. If your resume over there, then they initially, if the MNC is there, they initially goes to the GitHub profile and LinkedIn profile and your blogs and videos. So document your, if you are doing any project, just put on the GitHub, right? Put your blog over there. And if some videos like if you are doing some videos, if any technology you will learn, just make a video, short videos, and put the link, a small link on your resume, right? So the recruiter can easily find out the person are very passionate about the data engineering, right? So these are the very important thing, because and these are the strategy. If you find out, then you can easily ahead as a data engineer. And build your CV. After that, build your CV around your knowledge, what you learned over there. Then build a CV, then apply for a similar job, what you research. Like here is like what you research, right? Then you can go for the a jobs description. So congratulations, you are data engineer over there. After doing all the things, now you can easily do the thing. So documentation of your work is very important to jump into this field with proper strategy. So make your GitHub profile, make your blogs and videos for the data engineering kind. Like you can make a small Python videos and SQL videos. Means how you are doing the like querying the data, how to process the data. You can easily make a video on that, and that you can also put the GitHub profile. So recruiter can and employer is very happy with your like they just go to the profile and select you. This happening many times, and only small kind of interview will happen, and the person can easily select over there, right? And yeah, go for data engineering if you love the data engineering, like the stability, reliability, and the automation. You can do the all the things. And yeah, data scientist is like most of data scientists is doing 80% of data engineering works. They can easily make the model making is not very tough. If the people are saying machine learning machine, but from my perspective, you should know the actual use case, how you have to solve this. You have to find the use case. These are the things which we can solve by this data engineering skill or data scientist skill. Model building is very good thing, but data pipeline should be there. You should know the how to make the data pipeline, because model building is done. You have the CSV, you make the process, the all the EDS kind of thing, and you build the model. Now what is the use of that model? You should know the na means how you can deploy that particular model, how you can use that model, right? So these are the things we can like for the data engineering. Let me know if any question is there, because people are very quiet over there. But yeah, so
What is the best data processing tool?
yeah, so for the data processing tool, you can say I think I'm basically from my perspective, I'm using the Python. I'm process the data on the Databricks. Like there is a data Jupyter, means like Jupyter notebook kind of thing. So yeah, so for the data processing, I prefer the Python or Jupyter notebook, and Databricks is also there, because the same environment you will get, like as a Jupyter notebook, the same environment, like different shell, and the Databricks also have the same. So for the Databricks, for the data processing, I'm using the Databricks over there. Oh yeah. So basically, people should know the for the fresher is there, so they can go for the like SQL, Python, and one of visualization tool and cloud-based tech. One of so these four things they should prepare, and then I shown to the previous slide, document their work on the GitHub and blog and videos, and then go for the job hunting and show their use case, what they build, and these are the problem and business statement we can solve with the data, this technology. Yeah, so you are a good data engineer.
Okay. So Manish, can you move forward in the slides?
Okay, so
Okay. So yeah, so the folks here, we would also like to introduce the Antworks experiential learning program in the data engineering. Created a 16-week program. Professionals who are kind of in analysis or any other field, they can actually upskill themselves. Right.
Digvijay, how we lost you last minute. Can you come again?
Okay. So yeah, on an hindsight, I would like to give an overview of the program. We can also drop a link in the chat so people can go on our website to check this out in detail. But yeah, it's a 16-week live boot camp, which have classes on to every aspect of data engineering out there, starting from normal SQL, NoSQL databases to big data, and then over the cloud platform. So everything is being taught by senior professionals across currently working at these companies like Amazon, Mercedes, IBM, Kimberly Clark, etc. And yeah, it's a great opportunity for anyone who is yet to start their career or are working as in any other kind of role and now want to make a transition. So you will get a guided syllabus, dedicated mentors, and placement support from our team regarding that.
yes, Digvijay, you are right. Like also, I want to add something. People should learn the skills. If they are teaching anything, so you should learn the actual kind of thing. You have a certification or everything, and just means like for the showcase kind of it should be not there. You should learn the technology, then you can like the education like non-IT background, IT background doesn't matter. So you should know the skills actual what they are teaching like SQL, non-SQL. So if you know the skills you can hide very easily. And if you don't know about the SQL, and if you have the certification, then it's totally people will not like accept. So just learn the everything. Yeah.
Right. And if you also see the next slide, you will also you can there actually a sort of path is mentioned how the complete course will roll out.
Mhm.
Sure. So yeah, that's it I think for today's session. If anybody have any questions to ask, please feel free to unmute also. We are here for 5 more minutes.
Yeah, let me know any question is there, guys. So we can easily let you. Yeah.
Actually, he's asking when we will be starting the next batch.
Yeah, we have a batch coming up on 5th of September. So I think few seats are left for the current one if somebody wants to enroll. Just go to this link and register, or you can directly message one of us. So we would get in touch with you.
Yeah, yeah. Also, Digvijay, I want to add, if you're talking about the future perspective, data engineer have the high potential uh, to get the top positions. Like they can, their career opportunity is so much high because 50% require data engineers. So as a salary package or everything, so they can get a good package because there is a competition over there, right?
Yeah, that's definitely the case. So yeah, guys, do check out it. Check out the link, and somebody from our team will get in touch with you regarding that. And thanks, Manish. Thank you for taking out time this evening. It was really, um, hopefully, it was relevant to most of the people who joined, and they
Yeah,
find like value in it.
yeah. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I think there is no question. So thank you, everyone.
Yeah, uh, yeah, you can drop off now. I think
Yeah, yeah.
we will be closing down the meeting. So a few of the people here, if you have some doubt, please feel free to ask.
Mhm.